make sure I can see the chat while I'm at it. Happy days, bro.
Yeah.
Boom. I'll bring your make sure I can see the chat while I'm... There we go. Stream is working. We are live.
Nice.
Make sure that, like I say, boom, boom. So it should pop up for you now. You're on the phone though, so I'll put you beside me. He's in the pod. There we go.
It works out. Nice.
So, Mr. Voorhies, today we are discussing the dark web, hacking, and cryptocurrency, mostly regarding the rumors in the Delphi case. You're a clever guy, so I'm gonna let you explain for a little bit what you do and what you want to say. So, floor is yours.
Oh yeah. I'm a video game developer, and I help police with cold cases as like a part-time hobby because I'm good. I'm really good at finding people mainly online. If they have any digital like trail, like I'm pretty good at finding them. But yeah, like a lot of before I got into 3D and all that, I wasn't so good. I wasn't good with hacking or any of that crap, or even into true crime. But yeah, I met a lot of friends that were like really big in the gaming space, like on the cyber criminal side. So yeah, through them I learned a lot of tricks and stuff, and then that eventually carried over to like true crime for fighting people. So it worked out pretty good, Dang.
Well, you're passionate forward, you're helping people out, so there's a big difference between helping with like game development and helping find possible criminals and solving certain cases.
Yeah, it's so sick. I love it. Sometimes like it's like a theme park ride, man, when you're like, hunting somebody that like did something bad, because usually around every cold case there's the main killer, and then there's like a bunch of suspicious people around the case that usually have nothing to do with the case, right? But they run and try to hide away like they're guilty just the same. And I'm not like out there trying to punish every criminal in the world or something, but sometimes they cough up some good stuff that actually had to do with the case. So you know it is like a theme park ride when you like get to the end and you catch them, you like jump on them. It's pretty sick, dude. But
yeah, you helped getting some info about Mr. Klein, didn't you? With the Anthony Shots account.
I've talked to a couple people that were trading CSAM with him, and they kind of let me know like how it went, and that that it wasn't like all through, it wasn't even through Tor or any of that stuff, or like a CSAM website or any of that. It was all like, yeah, it was all on Reddit and 4chan. It's crazy how much 4chan has like played a role in this case, and I never would have guessed, because this case was like, it's in Delphi. It's like, it seemed like it was like a case that could have happened in the, the 80s, 70s, 90s. Like it was completely, seemed like non tech related, but as it went on, it's like you see, the whole catfish angle, and then social media angle, and then the freaking you see 4chan, like Richard Allen posting on 4chan, most likely was him. And then
well, you reckon that guy saying catching Richard was Mr. Allen?
Wait, what was that again?
There were posts on 4chan. Have I gone a bit quiet? No, a post on 4chan saying that Richard was the killer and they won't stop until Richard is found. But that person is someone who resides in New Mexico. What was Richard posting? This is news to me.
Oh, the New Mexico person was the Wikipedia. On 4chan, it was some guy. He was talking like the Unabomber, and he's like, "You don't understand small town civics." Remember that post? Yeah.
I thought that was linked to the Wikipedia thing. I thought that was on the same day.
No, it probably was the same day, but the thing with 4chan, the IP address came from Wikipedia. I'm sure the police could get the IP address off 4chan, but to us, we can't get it. Yeah, so we only know the IP address from Wikipedia, but yeah, that had the IP address, but the 4chan had his actual like weird syntax. I could just tell that wasn't even law enforcement or any of that talking like that was definitely, I feel like it was him. It was weird. You could tell by the syntax, like, yeah. It read like a Star Trek dialogue or something. It was so weird, man. It's all small town civics, small town civics. What is that? What cases have I helped with? Chelsea Smalls, Stevenson's, and Katie Janess. I've helped with those ones, and I'm trying to think. Yeah, that's it pretty much. Those are ones I've helped with tips or sent tips in. But yeah, I've had some good chases on those ones where people were trying to duck me, and I've had that happen in Delphi too, where I asked somebody a question and they're in a transcript or something, and they tried ducking me for like 2 weeks, and I have to keep following them to different places, and then like I won't have their address, right? Like let's say they came from a different country, they live in America now, so they're not on any white pages site, and then I smoke them out, dude. I'm good at smoking people out, like you basically do stuff to where they have to react to it, or they know it gets worse. You keep escalating and escalating and escalating, and then eventually somebody did come out who was their contact for the US, who had like his info was all on on the white pages site. But that's what I was trying to do with basically Richard Allen before he got caught. I did have a lot of plans to keep escalating and like trying to smoke him out, but police did it. They did a good job doing that. So yeah, that worked out pretty good.
What do you think about? I've seen an article. It's 2 days old. It's in the U.S. Sun, but I know the Sun is not well known of being too reputable. It's like the Daily Fail, But Which
Oh
TV?
yeah.
They say there's a police source that say Richard went to the police and said I was on the bridge that day, but I didn't see the girls, and they've known for years, and they just like brushed him aside.
You know, that might be the case. I don't know. I've seen a lot of people trying to verify that recently, and the main thing people have with that, the reaction is like, oh, cops let it slide. How could they? Because you think, if you were in that position, like all the time that's gone by, they're like, somebody inserted them in the case, but yeah, I think they were probably overloaded with so much information, like ridiculous amount. So you never know, but you know, it could be true. It could very well be true. But if it is true, that's probably how it got solved. One of the reasons or whatever. But
It's depressing if it is though,
yeah,
because it'd be 5.5 years of this guy
I
basically
watched it.
on a silver platter, just like, yeah, I was on the bridge that day, but I didn't see him. It's like, all right,
Yeah,
whatever, man. Next.
yeah. If that's the case, like I'm not gonna bash them because they'll have enough people doing that
Yeah.
or whatever. But yeah, it might be the case, But um, yeah, I've been seeing some weird stuff, links to Richard, online, but yeah, they weren't my findings. Like people on my team have been digging stuff up for me. Because I've been taking a break from Delphi. If I'm being honest, I got another game coming out. I'm not gonna plug it or whatever, but I've been pushing out games like Octomom. So I got another one coming out this
Octoman,
month.
what, like
But
Octodad?
yeah,
No, I get
exactly.
out. No way you help develop stuff like that.
Yeah.
What, like, young horses?
No, no young horses.
No young horses? Dude, I know Octodad full well. Octomon.
Yeah, well, no, Octomom's the actual lady that had like 8 kids. She like lives near here. Yeah.
But you're developing a game over that kind of stuff.
Yeah, no, I made it's like comedy games and stuff. Like they're not good if I'm being honest, but they make people laugh. Yeah, and they go viral. So
That's what it's all
like,
about.
yeah, a lot of my friends are like serious game developers, and they get mad that I get like a seat at the big boys table, and my stuff's like a joke, dude. It's pretty. It's like passing high school or college with like all these, and I still get a degree. You know, they hated it.
Well, on YouTube,
But
you get people who just like watch TikToks and go, "Wow," and they get like millions of
yeah,
views because if they're like a female or like a well-known person, you know, somewhat attractive, they watch these TikToks, they react to it, they laugh at them, and they get millions of views, and that's they buy mansions with that sort of money, man. I
yeah,
didn't,
yeah.
yeah,
They
I wasn't aware you were a full-on game developer. I have up in the corner your little Alex Voorhies mod for Resident Evil. I
Oh
saw that
yeah,
one.
I'm a modder too. Yeah, I'm gonna answer Marsh's question real quick. No,
Yeah,
I
you
do
see the
not
chat,
think
yeah.
I was. Yeah, I don't think I was instrumental in him getting arrested, but I know like me, Fig, Inquisitor, and a couple other people, we were putting on some crazy pressure. Um, right before he he got arrested. I don't think that attributed to that, but yeah, I think cops definitely got motivated in like the last couple of months, but yeah, I don't think it was any tip that I sent or anything like that because yeah, I'm just gonna go out on the limb and say yeah, Klein was like a bad coincidence or something, but just like Ron Logan and the Garrett Kurtz thing in terms of you're like it would be like saying like Garrett Kurtz is the killer, like himself or something like that, and then he's like talking about Hitman and he did kill people and he like knows Ron Logan. It's just like yeah, one of those like strange coincidences I think with Klein. I could be wrong on that, and he could be involved, but I think it's a safer bet to say that Richard Allen is a lone wolf because I think people more so. It seems like the police are like more so like who knew about it versus who helped. And if it turns out there is other people that helped, then as of now, I wouldn't really have any way of knowing, like if there's a second voice on the audio recording or anything like that. So, the safer bet for me right now is that yeah, he was a lone wolf or whatever.
Yeah, the guy sounds a lot more closer and clearer than down the hill. And they put guys before down the hill. You notice how it's like really loud and clear guys and then a muffled, distant down the hill. So I've always thought that like guys maybe comes after it, or there is more than one voice, but they said the voice was the same person. So like I just don't know.
Yeah, I have no clue, dude. It's crazy, man.
Mm.
Yeah, I have no idea with the voices and all that, but yeah, it's like I don't know. They sound the same to me. I think a lot of the audio manipulation they did to make it clear definitely in the long run didn't help because it changed like I feel like it changed the frequencies of his voice or something, so it made it harder for people to recognize it.
It 100%
Uh,
did. I had a look at it
yeah,
ages ago and I re-uploaded it because recently I seem to be getting a bit of more traction. So I privated the originals, blended them together. The 2017 one is a lot more deep. There's clearly no like noise removal, whereas with the 2019 it's almost kind of sped up with a load of noise suppression to it. So when you suppress noise on audio, it's a bit bubbly. They're trying to get rid of the leave cracks to like make it sound clearer, but they increased the pitch when they did it, so he sounds a bit more high pitched. There's a big difference between me talking like this and then talking like this. Like it's a big.
yeah,
Maybe it doesn't seem like a lot, but for someone who's like in denial, they're like, "Well, doesn't sound like him." Because a lot of people they
yeah.
attack Richard's wife, don't they? They're like, "Oh, the wife has to have known," but we
You
just don't
know,
know.
um, for all the people that want to crucify Richard's wife, I would say, let's say she's guilty, right? Or she knew about it. It's a safer bet not to go crucifying her or the family. Just wait it out or whatever, because you look more like a fool crucifying somebody that's innocent than, not crucifying somebody that was guilty. I'll say that much. So it's better just to wait it out on that one in terms of like talking smack and private conversation's different. I would just say publicly, yeah, just be careful about that one, Yeah.
Yeah, it's there's certain cases, say Casey Anthony or flipping even. Well, I was talking to my friend's dad about this before I came on with you because it's my friend's birthday today. I went up around his house, and his dad was talking to me all about the Madeleine McCann case, about how certain things in that, you know who Madeleine McCann is, don't you? Girl went missing in Portugal. She's a British girl. Parents are
Yeah.
doctors, friends of Gordon Brown and Tony Blair. Girl disappears, never found her, blames a German man right before the deadline.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a lot of holes in their stories. The twins wouldn't wake up. They refused drug tests for the twins. They refused questions from police. They phoned news outlets before police in a foreign country. And the football game, they said Jerry kept on watching and why he took so long. One night was actually on the night before they said it was. So like that kind of thing, I understand that. But when people say certain creators on here are like, oh, it's the patties because I say so. It's just
Oh yeah, dude.
like
I've seen people switch between they'll say don't harm the patties, anybody or even the Williams or whatever, they go anybody who makes fun of the families, you're gonna hear from us. Like nobody talks smack about the families, which is respectable, right? And then in the next sitting they go, the baddies did it, blah blah. I'm like, oh my god, get out of here, dude. Like you're freaking. People do that with Richard too. They go, he's not the killer, how could he be? And then they go, oh, and then they like dig up evidence or look at him and they're like, yeah, I think he did it, blah blah blah. I'm like, man, dude, it's like, I don't know. Here's the thing, with true crime, like it's okay to have a crazy theory, whatever, right? And then if you're trying to like think outside the box to get like a new perspective, whatever. But some people say crazy stuff that's like really crazy, and that is like literally the only thing they believe in that moment. So, when I talk with Fig or other people, we'll go through like 100 possibilities in one sitting, and we keep it like a Rolodex of theories. And I just find it's better. You get better results. Information too when you're not in any sort of tunnel vision, for real.
yeah, it's good to not be in an echo chamber in any sort of scenario, whether it be world events, certain cases, this, that. Like I've had a look at all the things, but there's literally no evidence other than what we're given, and what we've been given is nothing like half the stuff these people say. Like some of these people be really good at writing screenplays, like the next Quentin Tarantino, the amount of imagination they
Yeah, that's
have.
a lot of fan fiction, dude. I feel like half of the Twilight fan fiction people, after the Twilight series stopped playing in theaters, they moved over to Delphi or something.
It wouldn't shock me, man. Why they lost so much blood? Because it's a
Yeah,
vampire. That's what some people
yeah,
would say. But like we say, we've been told this guy is charged with 2 counts of murder.
yeah,
This source says that he is the person on the bridge and the sketches, but there are also some people who say sketches aren't of him. He's the killer, but he's not the bridge guy. This kind of stuff, and it's like it's in people's heads, and when people present opinion as fact, it just gets really blurry. And I don't know. I used to be kind of heavy into this stuff personally, but now I just keep my nose out. I wait for information. I have an opinion, but my opinion might not be
yeah,
the right one. So I mean, this is why I like talking
yeah,
to different people, even if I don't agree with them. I think it's good to do that in any scenario. You have some questions pop up. I want your
yeah.
chat
So,
to go. Yeah, you
do I have
choose if you can see it.
cracking in the dark web? No, I've never messed with anything CSAM related until this case, and the truth is, you can't go around like hunting every pedophile on the planet. Like you'll be there all day. You can't solve the world's CSAM problem. The only reason I was even going after these people is because I thought they might like point me in the right direction, and some of them did in terms of letting me know, like, the Klein CSAM angle might not lead to the killer. So I was starting to see that as I was like tracking down these people and interrogating them. But no, I've never cracked into a CSAM website with codes or anything. If I do anything on codes with computers, like on the PC, it will be Cobalt Strike or Brute Ratel is the program I use, and they're like an evolution of like Metasploit. Like they're a pen tester program that was like retrofitted and like modified to actually like hack and deliver ransomware and stuff like that. But if I'm being honest, like on on like a lot of the hacker forums and stuff, people they're moving away from just hacking people's computers and stuff like that, and they're moving to phone malware. And
Like Mr.
usually
Bezos.
with yeah, that exact same type of phone malware. And it used to be if you wanted someone's phone, you just do a SIM swap, and that was like the easiest way to get in there. But the problem with SIM swapping is they're like the people are alert once you have like full access to their phone. So with phone malware, they have the Pegasus software, the one that brought down El Chapo and got Bezos. That's like fully out in the open now on like I don't know if I could say it on YouTube without your YouTube getting taken down, but I'll say it anyways.
It's fine.
Breach forums, that is where all the malware, a lot of it is being sold. There's other places too, but it's a sequel to Raid forums, and Raid forums was like that was pretty lit, dude. That is where I learned a lot of tricks on there. But on breach forums, you could get a lot of like phone malware, computer malware. You could get it for free and mess around with it. But yeah, they have all sorts of types of phone malware. They have like the Flexi Spy stuff. They have Pegasus. But if you're ever worried that your phone has been hacked, just like reboot your phone, and that like a lot of malware goes away once you reboot your phone. So just reboot it like hourly or daily if you're like really anxious or something. Usually daily works, and you don't use the default browsers like Chrome or Safari. Use Firefox Focus because it's like a privacy browser, and yeah, that will solve like half your problems, in terms of phone malware. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. I never seen that stuff, really out in the open until like a couple months ago. It's starting to ramp up because a lot of people they don't they don't do a lot of stuff on their phones, man. It's like or on their computers like they used to. So like everybody has all their goodies on their phones, but a lot of the phone malware it takes like days to like siphon off all your videos and files. It tries to do it very staggered and very lengthy. Um, yeah, it takes a while because it doesn't want to alert the phone, like make it overheat or anything that's just sucking so much data at once. So if you reboot your phone, it kind of like kills whatever it was trying to siphon off most of the time.
I didn't know
And then
rebooting it
it
on the
has to.
phone would do that. Because like on a PC that wouldn't work. It would stay in your system 32 for like.
Yeah, that's true. But
Mm.
Pegasus works different. Pegasus is the main one that everybody's using. That's like the top tier one. And yeah, even the other ones, for whatever reason, yeah, if you reboot your phone, Android or iPhone, that seems to kill it. But there's a what is it? There's a program from Amnesty International for it's called MVT. It's on GitHub. If you're like really worried if your phone's ever been hacked or anything like that, you could run it on your computer, and it will tell you if your phone's been hacked or not, or had a virus or whatever. So yeah, it's meant for journalists if they suspected they got hacked, they could like tell they could tell on there.
You know Piers Morgan, the presenter, the reporter, the person who cries on Twitter. Piers Morgan, British guy, used to work for CNN. Is he popular
Yeah,
in America? Yeah.
yeah, I know Piers Morgan.
He
I've
got in
met
trouble
people.
for hacking people's phones. He was like sending out links to
Oh
people,
yeah.
getting loads of information off their phone, and he had to go to court over that. And he still doesn't apologize for it. But I mean, when it comes to malware
Yeah.
on a phone, I got a Huawei So I'm practically everything I say on here is being seen by the CCP, no doubt. I mean, it's the whole way.
Oh yeah,
That's banned in the UK. They can't have 5G towers here because we don't trust them, but we'll sell their phones. Makes sense, right?
yeah.
There is a good
Damn.
question for you though, bro, which is what is the
Yeah.
name of the program that tracks phones even when they're off? Um,
Um, I don't think that's Pegasus. They got other stuff. They got some good stuff. Like they have a bunch of like 0 day stuff that what is that called? Yeah, basically a lot of hardware is like purposefully been trojanized or whatever, so that they have those type of tools. That's like the same type of stuff where they could like record you off your TV. That's like way above my head and knowledge and stuff. But yeah, LE a lot of times, that's more federal when they do that type of stuff versus local law enforcement, dude. They got budgets to work with, and a lot of times, even if they have the budget for something, they don't want to pay or learn how to use it, because if I'm being honest, a lot of times local law enforcement, they could get the info they need like the traditional way without having to do all that crazy tech stuff. But yeah, if you're working on a federal case and it's between different states, then that type of stuff definitely comes in handy. But yeah, I heard Indiana State Police, they do have some like really smart tech savvy people, like how they caught that Buster Hernandez guy way back like in 2017. He was doing all the crazy stuff in Indiana, like bomb threats, and I think he did CSAM. I forgot. He did a bunch of crazy stuff. They caught him all the way from California because they like sent him an embedded video with a virus that like coughed up his location. So yeah, that was pretty crazy.
I mean, it's a good way
Yeah,
to get these people if you hide it in a file. That's another thing. You can hide these malware files within like a picture, a video, a link to a website. I put a clip at the end of one of my recent videos of Edward Snowden saying all you got to do is connect to like a Wi-Fi source or open a certain link, and people with reasonable cause can turn your phone into a camera. They can take everything off of it. They can turn it into a microphone.
yeah,
It's scary stuff, man. Because when you look at this and say you clicked a link, you just be on your phone doing whatever. And little do you know, front camera's on. This guy's at his desk watching you. Um, I had something happen before when I was a bit more naive. I just made my computer and upgraded it. I think it's probably when I was 13, 2014 time.
yeah.
IP cameras, they're so easy to breach. People have their security
Oh yeah,
systems in their home. And all they need to do is get your IP address, put it into, say, Internet Explorer or Microsoft Edge as it is now, and they're in
yeah,
your
yeah,
camera. If you don't change your password, you put admin password 1234. You can go into these people's houses, look in these people's houses, talk to them through the camera. There used to be a massive thing like IP cam trolling, but YouTube were like, no, you can't do
yeah.
that. That's like not okay.
I remember that. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It's
they
scary,
were
man. That's
funny.
why I don't want like a digital thermometer, even though it's a new thing. That would piss me off if like somebody hacked my thermometer
Mm.
and turned up the heat, and then you wake up all sweating like syrup and stuff. Hell no, dude. But I was gonna answer Kimmy that question again in a way. Yeah, I think she was. I don't know if it's a she or he, but it was about fog reveal. Yeah, fog reveal does track when the phone's off. That one's crazy, but um, I've heard people make good points. Like, yeah, they've said like, if he's such a criminal, even if he's not a criminal mastermind, whatever, Richard Allen, like he most likely didn't bring his phone to a lot of the criminal stuff he did, whatever else he did. And then if there was other people involved, they probably either had burner phones that were like flip phones or didn't use phones at all. So it's like, how would fog reveal help if he's not using a smartphone that could be tracked in that way? But the thing with that is, if you look back over the course of how many years, fog reveal could go back, he probably did slip up at least once or twice, and especially like in the last 2 months before they arrested him, if he was getting anxious or like, he most likely did slip up at some point. And even if he didn't slip up, they would be able to see like, hey, you went to another state, this month of this year. Let's see if there's any murders during that time around that area. So stuff like that, where even if he didn't have a burner phone or any phone at the scene of a crime, it would still lead them to what they're looking for, which, usually, yeah, it's other people, supposedly, but most likely other murders as well in that time frame. And who knows, he could have got so rattled with Delphi that he took time off and was waiting, for the next one. But yeah, it can't hurt, it can't hurt to definitely look into it.
You think this has anything to do with the Evansdale case? Because that's the biggest thing people say regarding Delphi is that
I don't
Evansdale
know.
and Delphi are the same people.
I used to think it was, and it possibly could be, but I've seen stuff like very similar, and it just like people like Chelsea Smalls, that I thought that was the same guy for a while. Turned out it wasn't. And like Sam Stevenson's, I thought that was the same killer, and then turned out it wasn't. So Evansdale, it's like there have been lots of cases where, unfortunately, a similar set of circumstances happen. So yeah, I think from here on out, I'm like, I do have to wait for the PC to be unsealed or whatever to like start like guessing with what cases might be linked. But it's not bad to like speculate ahead of time, because when people do that, they mean well. They're trying to like fast track justice for another case. So they're not saying like, oh, they're not saying like without a doubt he's the same killer. They're like, yeah, they're trying to put more pressure on law enforcement to be like, yeah, perhaps these are related. Perhaps you do need to like look for links between the two, and if not this one, other cases. So that is really what they're getting at when they do that type of stuff.
Yeah, a smart criminal. You said about the flip phones and that. I had a discussion with someone called Geekman. I don't know if she's in the chat right now, but she's talking about burner phones and that. And they're discussing smartphones. You can get cheap smartphones. They're cheap now, and it's like, well,
Yeah,
man, a smart criminal. I know drug dealers for a fact in the United Kingdom do this. You get ID'd and you have to keep the receipt for a certain amount of times, a certain amount of time in the UK. When you buy a there she is. When you buy like
yeah,
a flip phone and a prepaid SIM card.
yeah,
I was going to say any smart criminal who's up to no good, whether it be murders, drug dealing, would not buy a smartphone, even if it's say an iPhone 4 or a cheap smartphone like this. A smart criminal will not do that. What they do, they get the Nokia bricks or a flip phone, and they buy it prepaid, so their card isn't linked to a contract. Um, they're not using their credit card to make the purchase, which then links to their bank and then them. They buy these prepaid SIMs. I'm pretty sure you get IDs in America too when you buy this sort of stuff now. I know you have. It's not a law in the UK, but like big chains, like you go to a corner shop, maybe if they have it, it's like Lycaphone. That's like the cheap one here, Lycaphone,
yeah,
LYCA, and you buy these prepaid things, £10 on it. Get a new SIM, get a new SIM, get a new SIM. I don't know if you keep the number or not, or you just top it up with cash. I have no idea because I've never done it. But with a brick or a flip phone, anything happens, the wrong person gets your number, or you feel you're being tracked or whatever, you just snap that bugger in half and chuck it away. Take the SIM
yeah.
card out, snap that, chuck it. Who's gonna know?
Yeah, there's always a way to evade everything. Like, even let's say Richard Allen was the most tech savvy person on the planet, and let's say like New Mexico, when he posted off that IP, even though it wasn't a VPN, let's say like he bought a cookie from Genesis Market, and that happened to be the IP they gave him or something, and that's how he posted. And so even if if he did have a burner, or he didn't have a phone, or he was a lot more smarter than we give him credit for, he did slip up somewhere. Everybody always slips up, dude. Like, all the smartest hackers I know, they all slip up, and that's how they all have gotten caught. Like, every single one I know, dude. I can't name one that hasn't slipped up. I cannot name one that has not slipped up. So he definitely made a mistake somewhere. He definitely did something that was not good cybersecurity hygiene, whether that was using the same username somewhere, as one of his old, same password, same device, whatever. He did mess up at some point, and eventually they have access to his phone, whatever his main phone was. So I'm sure from there they'll be able to rip, alternate usernames and apps that he deleted, stuff like that. Because I guarantee after this long a period of time, he wasn't really prepared to get caught. So when they did catch him, he didn't have as much time to prepare deleting stuff and doing that type of stuff as he wanted. So I think that's like some good news.
Well, yeah, also Keegan microwaves a phone. He thinks that's fine, everything's good. He wipes the phone and microwaves it or something like that. And then Libby Pryor, because of glitches on the device, as far as we know, wiped her phone as well. But the thing is, man, you can delete a photo on your phone. And I know the iPhone have that thing where it's like recently deleted. Do you want to confirm this deletion? Even when you confirm the deletion, if you go deep into the files, you still have the thumbnail in your cache and that. So
Yeah,
like a deleted photo is never truly deleted unless the whole phone is completely gone. And I know people aren't going to
yeah,
wipe their phone over one image sometimes, unless say they're absolutely paranoid and it's a really bad image. But they reckon photos were taken of this particular crime, so it makes me wonder if maybe it was deleted but still has a thumbnail somewhere, it's printed out
oh,
somewhere, or someone owns it.
yeah. I guarantee for his type of archetype, he kept a trophy of some sort, even if he got rid of some of them. So that trophy is definitely going to help hang him in court, I think. But I'm not going to go so hard on like. I do believe he's like the guy and guilty and everything, but
Same here.
um yeah, I'm not gonna like go so hard on insulting and making fun of him. I will say it was definitely a lot more fun making fun of him before he got caught. I'll say that much. But yeah, now that he's caught, um I'm just gonna tread more lightly until everything's done and over with, I would say, especially mainly for sake of his family. You don't want, like, for instance, you go threatening Richard Allen and it's like it's super understandable to be like, I want to kill him, I'm gonna kill him, say stuff like that, right?
Mm.
But then you got to think he has a family and stuff that are known now, so if you start talking crazy, it's like, what if they're worried that like you're going to be targeting them or coming for them? So you have to yeah, and a lot of them are most likely innocent. So, if not all of them, so you want to like be very careful about, um, the blowback of going in so hard on him. And now that he's known, so yeah,
It's like that photo of his daughter on the bridge. The day he got caught, everyone was just posting it everywhere. Some people scribbled out the face, some people blurred it. Um, the one stream I did, it properly like blew up because it's the first day. I got the guy's face. There was a little bit with some people just showing this bold cop because he has the same name, or it's a bold cop from Massachusetts, whatever it was. But like I could see who it was. I could see the similarities. I verified it. I made sure he's a Delphi resident, the last name Alan, this, that, and the other. I made sure I knew who it was because I was the first person to show definitively who it was, and all the stuff started coming in as I was streaming. I had loads of people say, "Show the daughter on the bridge. Show the daughter on the bridge." And I mean, some people got angry at me. I couldn't care less what they think, but they were saying, "Oh, show the daughter. It's public. It's this and that." But at the end of the day, that daughter's now a victim. She's now has to live with
yeah,
this until the
exactly.
day she dies. Uh,
Sucks.
even if he's innocent, they're like her face is still out there. I know all the tabloids have now posted it and all these channels have posted it. But I do understand what it's like to feel affected by the actions of someone in your family. Like it defines you. Someone in your family's actions can define how you feel about yourself, and especially as like
Yeah.
offspring. You're 50% your mom, 50% your dad. Your dad goes and murders two little girls, and you got a photo taken on that bridge. You think, well, 50% of me is evil, 50% of me I hate, and then it
Like,
doesn't help this girl.
yeah, like it's like taking on a generational curse. It sucks at
Mm.
that point. So that is like why I'm not. I'm not a fan of kicking a lot of people while they're down, if I'm being honest. I'm not really a fan of that, so I'm just like, let stuff take its course. But um yeah. I was going to answer the question about the USB images. Can they see a USB plugged into the computer? Yeah, if he had the same computer and he didn't toss it out, the one that he had during the murders, if he's been plugging in the same USB, yeah, they'll be able to see it. That, yeah, they'll be able to see that one was plugged in or whatever. And yeah. What was I gonna say? You know what's weird about Delphi, dude? Let me tell you something really strange. Um,
Go for it.
so I got into this because of gaming and modding, right? And
Well, what's the link of gaming and modding and then Delphi?
um, I talked to a lot more hackers. So the story is, I saw article on Xbox Underground. I'm like, I want my own crew of like cyber criminals to like, as friends, because I love my friends in real life, but you know how they say like if you the five people around you shows me who you are or whatever. So I'm like, I've always dabbled in tech and stuff, but I'm like, I'll probably get a lot smarter with I want to be a game developer too, so I'm like, I'll probably get smarter with tech and games if I associate with like all these gaming cyber criminals. And the reason you go to gaming cyber criminals and not somebody professional that's like a professional game developer, because a lot of the professional game developers that work at these AAA companies are very snobby. So when you reach out to them, they try to act like you're trying to get an autograph from them or something. So I'm like, well, I rather talk to people that are more down to earth, that have made money off games in like ingenious ways, whether it was criminal or not. So I reached out to Voxy. He got arrested by Sega. I reached out to another guy named Berdyev, and he's big on. He was like one of the first big asset flippers. He taught me a lot. I reached out to. I still talk with all these people like weekly, daily, whatever. And I reached out to another guy. I'm not gonna say his name, but we were good buds. The Netherlands hacker, and then he betrayed me. And then I don't want to get into all that, but I came out on top. But and then Arion, he's the one that got arrested for the GTA hack recently, and
Well, you knew that
Boxy.
person, the GTA kid. He's 17, one. He's 17 from Oxford.
Yeah, he helped me with Delphi. He helped me with Delphi on a
Oh,
couple
real?
things. Taught me, yeah, for real. Earlier
That's
this year.
crazy. It's a
Yeah, I'll show
small
you
world,
some
isn't it?
screenshots. Yeah, it's crazy, dude. Yeah. But I was pretty sad to see him go, but I kind of knew it was coming. But I just like, you know, he has autism, so I think he'll be all right. If I'm being honest, like,
Well, they'll treat him
the
better.
worst thing, yeah, the worst thing he did in the GTA thing, which I hope down the road he would learn not to, is the extortion, extorting. That is like a big no-no. But other than that, if you think about it this way, dude, um, like he got arrested basically because Take Two Interactive put pressure. He didn't get arrested for the Uber hack or DoorDash or none of the hacks. A lot of them before. It's I've seen a lot of game companies like Sega or whoever, EA Games, be able to like weaponize law enforcement for stuff that really shouldn't even be prosecuted for. If I'm being honest,
Well, money's
like.
power, isn't it?
Yeah, making a cheat for a game, for example. I've seen people get arrested by Ubisoft or stuff like that. So that stuff kind of like irritates me. That's what happened to one of the modders I look up to, who's now dead. He committed suicide because EA Games was putting so much pressure on him. But so I'll tell you how all this relates to Delphi. I learned more tricks. I've always been good at like finding people and stuff, but I got even better with a lot of the tricks I learned, right? From these people. So eventually what's weird is like the whole hacking Keegan Klein thing, that led me to like meet people and find out more about like a lot of my idols that kicked all this off, like what's his name, Anthony Clark. I found out like a lot of information about him from people that like the Trender Fire guy, Julian, he interviewed like somebody on his crew. So I found out like how he died and the circumstances like near the end of his life that was like left out of the public eye for a while. So that was trippy. And then one of my collaborators, Kat, who helped me track down Eleanor 18, she was like pivotal in helping me track down her. She worked on she was a voiceover person for Red versus Blue, which one of my idols, who's another modder, Monty Oum, he worked on that a lot, and Rooster Teeth as well. So it's weird how like, yeah, I got to like meet and associate with a lot of people I would have never met if it weren't for like this case and true crime. And yeah, you do feel guilty in a way, like it sucks to be like, yeah, somebody had to die for anything like this to happen. It like, yeah, you do feel bad, but at the same time you're like, there is a lot of good. I've seen a lot of good friendships and good stuff that's come off of this. And I I hate tragedy, and I hate like profiting off tragedy and stuff like that, but any silver linings that come off of it, I'm not against, really, but because if I'm being honest, that's not like what Richard Allen had planned or what he had in mind. He just like wanted like pure you know sadness and destruction. So you know that's one thing. But yeah, yeah, in terms of like me modding and stuff, when I do mods like that Resident Evil mod, or I've done other stuff like personal 3D stuff, it will be like AAA looking stuff. Like I know how to make stuff look AAA. And if I'm being honest, I like pirate most of nearly all the software I get. I get it off like CG Peers or GFX Peers, stuff like that. Rude Tracker, that torrent site. But yeah, the similarities between 3D and true crime, and I would say actually hacking, is like you see what tools, you always got to keep an eye on what tools are coming out, or what exploit, whatever is coming out that makes it easier. And for 3D, it's like to make your models or animations, whatever, to get it on the screen faster. And with true crime, it's like software like Maltego or God forbid Pegasus, stuff like that, to catch people faster or get to the end result faster. So I'm always keeping tabs on like what's up and coming. So for true crime, it's like Fog Reveal, Maltego, Pegasus, stuff like that. For 3D, it was like, I remember Rap 3, when that came out, I like jumped on it. That's how I was able to scan my face like with just a phone. And yeah, what else have I looked up? Yeah, all the AI like art stuff I've been keeping track of.
Yes,
Like they
my
got the
friend
AI
showed me
motion.
something, man. What was it? Canvas by Nvidia. And it
Yeah,
just drawn
yeah.
these little lines in it. It's like a photo. And you're basically making photos of mountains, lakes, this, that, and the other. And it looks like you've just taken like a real life photo. And now that stuff impresses me. One thing I wanted to ask if you know about is this guy called, it's either Dries the Porter or Dries the Porter. And he gets these photos off Instagram of people. And then he goes into CCTV networks and gets
Yeah,
video of
I
these
have
guys
seen.
literally.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm going to bring it on the screen just real quick while we continue talking for the people in the chat, because this thing is insane. I've seen it on like other places, but this guy. So literally here, I'll bring it up and explain it. I'm going to have to full screen it a bit. This guy
Yeah, I was
here,
gonna. Oh yeah, let me see it.
you should be
Oh
able to see
yeah, I
it.
saw that. Yeah, that was sick, dude. I saw that. I reposted that when it happened. Yeah,
Yeah, and it's not
that's
just this
sick,
he's
man.
done. Some have been taken down for copyright because it's open cameras and that. But this
Mm.
guy is literally getting photos of people and then being able to track them through the
Yeah,
CCTV. Like this is next level mass
yeah.
surveillance versus it could be used for good, but like
I
kind of
made a
terrifying,
list of
man.
people similar to him. I think you might have been on it. I'm trying to get like people like that more into true crime, because a lot of them are not into it for some reason. Like, or they never even bother dabbling into it. But yeah, we need, if we had like more of those type of people in true crime, we'd come to conclusions like a lot sooner, you know. But yeah, that's the thing with hackers. A lot of them are more concerned about like money or attention than
That
getting
is actually true.
results, you know, in terms of like, yeah, I would have to market to them. A lot of them are young and like kind of selfish, like they have lessons to learn. So I would market it like, hey, you know, it'd be a lot cooler if you caught a killer versus hacking a company. Cause like
Yeah.
even my friend Arion, he hacked NVIDIA earlier this year, and the the CEO of NVIDIA was all like complaining about it on TV and stuff, but like everybody's already forgotten about it. And like even the GTA 6 leak, you know, a lot of other friends I have, like a lot of the stuff they did has just been forgotten about. But if you do catch a killer or make a major break in a case, like people remember that stuff forever. And it's actually twofold, because you actually like help other people, a lot of people in that process, versus just helping yourself, you know.
Yeah, passing it
But
forward and treating those who want to be treated is what it's all about. That's what makes the world a better place. It's all well and good, you know, being successful and like keeping it all for yourself. But I mean, something as small as, I mean, what's it like? You're in a shop, you see something someone likes, you just get them like a chocolate bar, or you just like you help a granny get something off a shelf. Like little things like that really do make people's days,
yeah,
their weeks, it stays with them. So something on this level, people with this
yeah.
kind of like skill and knowledge who are able to do this kind of stuff, they'll be doing that times flipping infinity, and it could help them get like proper positions in law enforcement, in investigations, in
Oh yeah,
surveillance, all
they'll
sorts.
get hired for sure. Yeah, and like, you know, I think with CEOs, a lot of CEOs don't get hired unless they have like a family or like kids, right? Because like uh, being married as a CEO or whatever, like shows people you're like validated, like social proof. It shows that you're like a more well-rounded person. I think for a lot of hackers, if they helped out with you know, true crime or missing persons, it'd be like very similar in that um they kind of like show they're a more stand-up person, you know.
There's a stigma
So
around hackers, isn't there, where it's like they have to hide themselves because they're at risk of if they've done certain things, law enforcement taking them down, or law enforcement charging them with something. Because when you breach a system or you breach a network, it's a crime.
yeah,
So like people who
yeah,
have
it
the
is.
skill are too scared to say, "Yeah, I can do this," because they'll lock them up for it. It's like Edward Snowden.
Yeah,
He had to flee the country for exposing a lot of stuff and like saying a lot of stuff we didn't know yet. And Julian Assange, now he didn't hack anything, but he leaked a lot of information and had to flee the country because they're trying to get rid of him.
yeah. If you're hacking the government, that's like, that's right or wrong. It's, yeah, you're definitely gonna get heat. Same with like taking money. You know, I have hacked people and not, you don't take anything, you don't insult them, you don't do extra stuff that makes noise, and then you just leave, and then it's like, even if police know about it or whatever, they don't even care, you know. But if I were to do that same thing and steal money, especially
Yeah.
over the felony amount, that's like, they're so on you, dude. Like they'll get you. But
What's the felony amount? How much is it?
it's like, I think for me in my state, it has to be like over nine. Even if it's over 900, or even if it's less, if you do less, let's say I hacked a bunch of people, whether it's my state or around the country, and I steal only $100 from them, right? And over time it adds up and it gets over the felony amount.
Also,
Cops just add,
um.
they add all that up
Oh
and
man,
then go in on you, like, so even if you're trying to get under the felony amount, they'll add it all up and make it a felony, whether that's, I think once it gets over like 70K or something like that, then the FBI gets involved. But the FBI doesn't have to get involved for you to get in trouble. They could get you for like even 2 grand, way less. They could still add it up, even if it's people from different states. Local law enforcement could still you know, come for you. But you know, I do want to say, like, I read, when you get in the true crime space, criticism comes with the territory, and I don't mind it, because that just means like I'm making waves out there or whatever. But there have I have seen people say like, oh, he didn't hack, he's just lying, he didn't hack. And the thing is, like to get on Trendify, even Fig, and even you, people don't just take my word for it. I don't just like come up to them and be like, yeah, I got in there, and then the people are like, oh, okay, we believe you. Like I showed Fig, I showed Julian, I even showed you,
Yeah.
like step by step how I got in there. But the reason I don't go on these people's shows and be like, yeah, this is how I did it, step by step, this is what you got to do, is because frankly, from what I've seen from the true crime community, I just don't trust the community. So it's like if they're smart enough, they could figure it out themselves. But like they wouldn't even use it to catch the killer or pedophiles. They use it on the family, on friends of the family, on Le's family, on Le. So I'm like, I'm not going to be responsible for that. So I'm like, they could just like not believe me. I don't care. But yeah, I don't I didn't trust that knowledge being out there, if I'm being honest. Like even when I say like, oh, you get Pegasus on this forum and stuff, I know like half the people wouldn't be smart enough to use it even if they got a hold of it. So I'm like, yeah, I'm like, I don't really feel too bad about that. But yeah, it's crazy.
So you said, it's good you said this, but you've never breached CSAM sites in that. But like regarding I've got four things down here. JST, I'll be bringing it up, and that the four sections I want to go through is dark web, crypto growth, Monero and Bitcoin in particular, and cybersecurity. Like we're on the topic of cybersecurity. Like, do you know? Because I know cybersecurity, that field is where all the
Yeah,
money of like the 21st century is going to be like invested. Because these companies, I mean, you think about a 17-year-old autistic kid flipping
yeah,
hacked into Rockstar Games, a multi-billion dollar company, aren't they? Rockstar. I mean,
yeah,
he leaked the biggest, most
yeah,
anticipated game right now, which is Grand Theft Auto 6. So like,
yeah.
yeah, do you like use your skills in reverse to like help secure things, or you know anything about cybersecurity yourself?
Yeah, I know a lot about cybersecurity. I don't work in cybersecurity. I thought about it. A lot of people told me I should get in there. Because if I'm being honest, I'm not so good at being a programmer. Like I could program stuff, but um, like even if I hack somebody with a command prompt or like let's say Cobalt Strike or Brute Ratel, I'm like following a tutorial or somebody else's instructions until I get it right. So I'm not like so crafty at like winging it and stuff like that, which I think a lot of people in the cybersecurity space, um, they are. I could probably be somebody like Brian Krebs where I like keep up on all the trends and write about them or something like that, or consult a company about what they need to be on the lookout for. Because if something new is out, like I'm always like aware of it. But you know who Brian Krebs is, the cybersecurity journalist?
I do not, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Brian Krebs is
he
in Krevs, yeah. Oh,
Arebs.
Krebs. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he's like the number one cybersecurity journalist, and his blog is a good place to follow for like a lot of the latest trends in like the dark web, cybercrime, whatever. But what's sad for him is every time there's like swatting or DDoS attacks, something new comes out, he's like the guinea pig for all the hackers like to try. They do it like to troll him. They like um use it on him. So there's been so many instances where he writes, you can see on his Twitter or whatever, he's like, yeah, this guy that swatted me in 2013, he just got caught. Yeah, this guy that DDoSed me way back when, he just got caught. This guy that leaked my credentials or whatever, he just got caught. So it's pretty funny. He'll like go way back and bring up like some old case, and he's like, yeah, they just got arrested, blah blah blah. So yeah, he's like the cyber criminal underworld guinea pig. But I have a lot of respect for him. But that's just like part of the risk you take when you're like one of the main journalists on cybercrime. A lot of them get pissed off that he's like reporting on their stuff or whatever.
Yeah, I'm looking at all this stuff now. This got some mad stuff in it. He's just exposing all these like criminals and that move loads of money in that.
Oh
Is he
yeah,
catching like dark web dealers or something?
yeah. He's helped caught a lot of people.
Wow.
But yeah, he's helped warn a lot of people. Like even Experian, they just fixed something because of him recently. He put pressure on it. Like they were letting it where even if you had an account on there, people can make a new account. And under your information without your permission and like do stuff with your credit and stuff like that. So, he's been very pivotal on getting a lot of stuff like patched up. But his website got DDoS so much that he had Google had to like start running it to protect him basically because any website hoster that he had was he was just getting DDoS right out of there.
Yeah, that's a lot. DDoS was like really, really popular in the 2010s, but recently it's like I've only ever seen it be used on certain kind of, you get the big companies sometimes to come to it, but like smaller websites, and you get these things, Cloudflare and these other things where
Yeah.
if they're being DDoS, they've got to go through another website before they actually access the website, which is clever in that. Back in
Yeah.
the day of like 2017 to 18, after sites I wanted to access I couldn't use, and like you would play games on, say, not this brand new Modern Warfare it's just come out, but like PS3 days, and you play like an old Call of Duty game or something. When you're on these servers, all your public IPs are just listed, but if you go into like the right command prompt, and
Yeah.
you're like,
That's
oh,
how a lot of Twitch streamers get DDoS. They find them through that,
yeah,
the game
games.
servers.
And playing a
Yeah.
game on a VPN ain't fun because you just rubber banding all around the place.
Yeah. Like, yeah, I know Voxy, he's the main reason Denuvo, that's like the anti-game piracy, like is still getting cracked because of the work he put in a long time ago. Like games are getting cracked like within a month and it pissed them off. But that software sucks, dude. Like Denuvo sucks because it burns out your CPU and it makes the games run crappier, and the game developers are aware of this, so they take it off after a month because it pisses people off so much. And they're talking about putting it on the Switch and PS5, and it would just slow everything
The Switch,
way down.
especially. The
Yeah,
Switch
I'm
can barely
supposed to
run as it
visit
is.
him. Yeah, my brother got married in his home country in Europe, so I'm gonna go see him next year. Yeah, he got arrested by Sega. I've been talking to him since like 2018. Yeah, 2018 is when all this stuff like started for me. Like I did some bad stuff in the past. I was, cyber criminal stuff, but I wasn't brushing shoulders with people that were in like news articles and stuff like that. That started 2018 after the Xbox Underground article. And yeah, I've talked to was it the leader of Xbox Underground? I've talked to him a couple times over the years, but yeah, he's pretty nice.
That's how you found out about Delphi, is from an Xbox blog.
No,
Xbox
it
Underground.
started from there. I found out about Delphi because I typed in cyber sleuthing
Yeah.
because I never even thought about true crime, but people told me, they're like, "Hey, you should work on cold cases or something like that." My friend told me after I had like found, I was just so good at like finding people and stuff online that he's like, "Hey, you should like do that stuff," And I'm like, "All right." So then I looked it up, and Delphi is like the main one that came up, and then from there, like it branched out to all sorts of other cases and stuff, and like Stevenson's was a wild ride. And I'm not even 100% sure. I'm not even 50% sure that's connected. Most likely not, but that I did get to that case through Delphi. So yeah, it's pretty trippy.
You remember the Lizard Squad on Christmas?
Yeah, I
Took
remember
down
Lizard
Sony,
Squad,
everything.
and one of the dudes that interviewed one of my friends for the BBC, or ex-friend, I should say, he interviewed Lizard Squad, and also those like Russian malware people. Yeah, everybody. Once there's like a new hacker group, they get interviewed by a lot of the same people. A lot of times it's crazy, but
Well, it's the
yeah, I
bigger
do think.
companies they'd want to say the BBC. I mean, that's It's the British Broadcasting Corporation. No, I mean, our taxes go
Yeah, not
towards it,
the
innit?
other one.
So whole of England will see that for free. Well, if they pay their taxes, that is, yeah. But
Yeah,
then you got
they
the
really
age
got
of
to think.
YouTube.
Dang. Yeah, but I do see not so much hackers. I think the sweet spot between true crime and hacking is the open source intelligence community. And open source intelligence doesn't have a lot of the flair that hacking does, but the tools they have are far more, they have a far better batting average than like hacking tools, you know. I would say in terms of like getting to the end of a cold case, because um, yeah, like I said, like Maltego and some of the other stuff I found, like I would say everybody, if you're into true crime and like scraping info on people and stuff, definitely go to the open source intelligence like subreddit and see what new tools are coming out. Like keep tabs on it because they got some good stuff sometimes, you know.
Yeah, I'm
But
gonna put that in now. What's it? Reddit open
so it's
source.
OSINT, I think.
OSINT. OSINT.
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah, yeah. That Reddit's pretty good, you know.
Okay.
Yeah. And then on Twitter too, Twitter's where I see a lot of cool stuff when it comes to like new tools that are coming out, new exploits that are getting used. And then if you really want to go somewhere like better than the dark web, make an account at Breach Forums and then look at all the tools they're selling and giving away for free on there. And that place will probably be open only for like another 3 years or 4 years, whatever, just like raid forums. But that's where
Oh,
all
what
the
is Raid
action's
Forum
happening.
down? Raid Forums. I remember that. Raid
Yeah,
Forums.
it came down earlier this year. That I learned so much stuff off raid forums. It was sick.
When I was a little shithead back in I want to say 2016, like those days. So when I was like a 15-year-old turning 16, like 2016, 17. What's it? People would be live streaming. You go to these small live streamers and they post their link, and everyone in the chat's just raiding them, raiding them. And you know, I always see these people just posting these guys' IP addresses. I'm like, how are these people getting IPs from just going on a Twitch stream? Like it amazed me. Like I've always been into tech and that. Like I say, I'm not on the level that you are. But at the age of 13, I built my own computer and that. Like I've always been
Yeah,
right into it.
yeah. I'm to be honest, in terms of like being a hacker, I'm like really dumb, dude. I'm like not even up there. But
Yeah, not when
I've
it comes
told
to
people
hacking.
I feel like the Forrest Gump of hacking because I've like ran into all these like big wigs and like really smart people who have like then collaborated with me or taught me stuff, and they are way out of my league in terms of intelligence and capability. But I think they really associate with me not so much on my technological skills at all. It's more on like personal stuff, you know, like they just think I'm like a cool dude or whatever, so they help me out. But yeah, I
Definitely a
do
cool
feel
dude.
pretty fortunate. Yeah.
Especially if you're working
Too.
on October, man. That shocks me, man.
Oh yeah. No, the game there's no game called Octomom, or there is a person in California. She really had like 8 kids or whatever, and then she did like dirty movies after. But I was saying I make games like so fast that I'm pushing them out like she pushed out babies.
You gotta
Yeah,
show
pretty
me
much.
some of your actual games afterwards.
Oh yeah. I'll give you a couple Steam keys or whatever. It's pretty sick.
You can give out Steam keys.
Yeah, I'll give out Steam keys, man.
What?
I got yeah, I'll give you my whole back catalog, man.
I'll be reviewing them and I'll be honest about it. If I think it's shit, I'll give you a
Oh,
bollocking.
they
Don't
are,
worry.
dude. They're funny. They're funny as hell,
If
but they are
they make me
they are
laugh,
hot
they're not
garbage.
bad. They're not bad at all.
Yeah, but I am gonna pivot to triple A games in the future. I've already got a
Really?
plan. Yeah, the Inquisitor, we're gonna work on a horror game. Like quality stuff, like because you know a lot of the people that worked on like Silent Hill or PT or like Forbidden Siren, those old horror game stuff, a lot of them, like the Square Enix, Capcom, Konami, Kojima Productions, those creature designers, a lot of them do stuff for freelance. So you could pay them like 2 to 3K, and they'll make like a hero character for you, which is like a main character or a villain. And then like I know how to rig all that stuff myself and animate myself, but we're gonna do a lot of the like basic game mechanics ourselves, and you know, even environments we could do pretty well. But we're gonna probably have other people come in and do like the creatures or character. I don't even think we're doing creatures. We're trying to do more of a true crime based game where like if there's people, they look creepy, but we're not gonna be having like a bunch of aliens and monsters and stuff like that, you know.
When you
But
say
we
true
just want
crime game, what do you mean? Like you go around killing people, you like help crack cases like
like
LA Noire?
yeah, you're trying to solve a case. Yeah, I think that'd be pretty sick.
You play
But
LA Noire?
yeah, that one's pretty sick, man. I like that
Yeah,
one.
that's one of my favorites, man.
Yeah.
Rockstar is
Yeah,
sick.
so it'd be like that mixed with like Silent Hill or something.
Yeah, that
Cuz
sounds amazing.
there's a lot of good horror games out there, but a lot of them are like asset flips or like based off YouTube stuff, so they kind of feel like really corny or whatever, you know?
Slender Man,
But
yeah. The 7 pages or
yeah.
8 pages, whatever it is.
Yeah, and the truth is a lot of AAA game companies are like asset flippers. They just use higher quality assets to grab from. So for instance, like a high quality asset flip would be like Speed Tree or Mega Scans where everybody's using the same textures, cuz like Resident Evil uses the same textures that Call of Duty uses, and they use like Quixel Mega Scans. A lot of them use Speed Tree, a lot of movies have used Speed Tree, so they're still grabbing stuff off the shelf that they didn't build from scratch. They're just using higher quality source material. So that is what I want to use down the road, you know?
I didn't realize you could use Call of Duty's things and not say get a copyright strike or something. One second.
Um,
Thank
if you
you,
rip,
Mr. Vaudry.
people have been arrested. Yeah, somebody's been arrested for. No, I don't think they were arrested. They were sued for taking a weapon in Call of Duty and putting it in their own game, and then Activision found out about it and then sued them. So, like if you take stuff from Quixel that was in Call of Duty, then you're good to go because that is from Quixel and they allowed everybody to use it. But if you like rip stuff straight from an older video game that they paid their own modeler to use or to make or whatever, then you'll get in trouble or whatever. You know, a lot of asset flippers have been in trouble for using game models that they didn't own, you know.
Yeah, it's all copyright laws, isn't it?
Yeah. I was gonna answer a question earlier. I am not from the Netherlands, but I know my last name is Dutch. But my the name I got from my grandpa. He isn't my blood grandpa, but I considered him my grandpa because I didn't know my other one that well. But yeah, his name was definitely from the Netherlands. But he passed away a while back, I think, 2006. But he was funny as hell, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say this earlier, but I didn't want to say it to throw you off. But like your little mid sentence giggles are proper nice, man.
Oh yeah, thank you,
Yeah,
man.
contagious.
Yeah, I've had it. I've been around people that like my laugh was like nails on a chalkboard to them, and like to be honest, dude, it is like satisfying to see them get pissed off over it. It's not on purpose, dude. I don't know where it came from. I just cannot help it, you know.
Yeah, how can they hate that though? You're just having a giggle, mate. How can they hate that?
I don't know. Maybe it reminds
Depressing
them of
guys.
like some kid laughing at them in elementary school or something.
Oh, but you're
That
just
brings back.
you're just having a little giggle. You're not laughing at me. It's not like you're laughing in my face, are you?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I
Uh,
know to them, who knows, you know.
stuff them.
But yeah.
Regarding the cryptocurrency, I see a lot of people ask about cryptocurrency.
Oh
That
yeah,
was one of the
they can be
things.
bluffed. Yeah, they can. Transactions can be bluffed. Like if they're not confirmed all the way. That's why they do the confirmation things. That's why a lot of sites are like it has to be confirmed 10 times before we give you the money or whatever, because it can be faked. And like, yeah, with cryptocurrency, yeah, it could be compromised, or you could be scammed on it if you're like not that knowledgeable. I'm not that knowledgeable on cryptocurrency, to be honest. I just know like it's better to let things get confirmed all the way than not, before you give somebody a product or whatever,
You're definitely
But
right about the confirmations. I've had to use cryptocurrency on sites which I'm not disclosing, and
yeah, yeah, same here.
those ones like they have to wait for like 10 confirmations. It used to be like two. Like Bitcoin is a bit different because Bitcoin takes flipping forever. You got like but
Yeah,
say Monero and that, I think it's like 20 confirmations until they accept it. Whereas some places it could be two, it could be five, it could be 10, it could be like a time limit, so it refreshes every half hour. If it's not reached a certain thing, you wait another half hour, that kind of thing. Uh,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. That's great.
But
Even Tor, I would not use Tor at all. Tor sucks. Yeah, use ITP, because Tor, you got to remember, is like run by the foundation that's basically run by the government, and it's pretty much compromised, in my opinion. Tor was where the party was a while back, but use I2P instead. But I don't even use I2P, dude, to be honest. Like, if I'm being honest, a lot of the hacking I do, I don't even. I might have a VPN on, but I'm really not trying to protect myself against the police. I'm trying to protect myself against who I'm hacking, which usually is somebody that did something really bad. That is why I have not been arrested yet for any of that. But if I do, I'll take what comes with it, whatever. I doubt it's a lot better to get caught for hacking a criminal than hacking even a criminal or innocent person and taking money or doing something like more malicious. But yeah, if they want you, they'll get you, whether you're on I2P or VPN, whatever. They got so many ways they could get people.
you know
So,
Kali Linux and the virtual machines.
oh yeah, I've done all that, and
Yeah, that's what I would have used back in the day when I was doing anything like that.
yeah, I use it a lot too. A lot of the stuff that's on there is like, it's like bloatware. It's like Walmart computer bloatware. It's not that very helpful,
Yeah.
But the cool thing about Kali Linux is like, let's say you install like a Cobalt Strike or a Brute Ratel, like it has a lot of stuff like already ready that you don't have to like do the pip install crap, and wait on it. It's like already there.
It's like a Mac with
If you
iMovie and stuff like that, isn't it? In like
Yeah,
easy
if you gotta
terms.
like parse your data or something. But um yeah, like I don't use Linux that much, to be honest, because if you've noticed, like a lot of stuff that you used to have to have it was Linux only. Like even Metasploit, I remember that was like bigger on Linux, but now it works pretty good on Windows. Same with Maltego, stuff like Maltego, and they work like pretty good on Windows now. And even like Pegasus, or like all those other softwares, they're doing pretty good. And then you got to remember too, a lot of stuff you could do with like developer tools and plugins, or services online, that it doesn't matter what operating system you're running. So yeah, like I don't know, Linux is fine and everything. I just really don't like one, the time to set up a virtual machine is like a pain in the butt.
At first,
um
yeah, but once you know what you're doing,
yeah, and then yeah, I would definitely, every time I ran one, I would run one off a USB, even though like you could run it on your computer, whatever. A lot of them just take up so much like memory when you run so many of them. So yeah, I've used like VirtualBox and was it VMware, a lot of that stuff,
that's it,
like pirated
VMware.
version of VMware.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, you get that on Root Tracker. Yeah. I would say, yeah, if anybody, shoot, your YouTube's probably gonna get knocked for this or whatever.
No, I don't
For
care.
sure. Yeah, Root Tracker is a cool place if you like audio stuff and you don't want viruses, or even like movie stuff. Yeah, definitely go there. But I'll stop talking about that second. You're gonna get dinged on YouTube for sure, man. You're
Why?
not already.
What's the problem with discussing websites in the public domain? No.
Yeah, that's true, huh?
Yeah,
I
I
don't know.
mean,
Sometimes
Yeah.
For instance, Celebrate. I gave the whole true crime, like my Discord, I gave him a link to a YouTube video, had a copy of Celebrate, right?
Yeah.
And it worked. It didn't look like it would work because the YouTube video was all, it was like Indian or something. So you're like, oh, this is probably a scam or fake. But I like downloaded it and tested it out myself, saw it didn't have viruses, saw it worked. So I
Yeah.
gave it out on the Discord, right? Like 2 weeks later, it freaking it said Celebrate had taken it down for copyright strike or whatever, you know. But yeah, there's some good stuff you could find. There is some good stuff on YouTube. The problem is, yeah, pirating software. There's so many viruses a lot of times, and I've seen a lot of people get viruses pirating games and stuff. So
Mm.
yeah,
Especially
be
through that
careful.
uTorrent and that.
Yeah, it's all about where you go. You want to go to a place that like vets all the different types of software before you download it. So somebody like actually took a look at it, saw that it didn't have viruses, and um, you know, like on CG Peer is so good, man, for 3D stuff and graphic stuff. You know, even regular GFX stuff, like Adobe type stuff. That place is like the best for that type of stuff. But yeah, I think it's hard to get in there or whatever. But um, yeah, I'm surprised Genesis Market is still up and running, man, and probably won't be for long. But yeah, that place is they're invite only, and I'm in there. I'm in there, dude. But
That's good.
that's where Arion, I think it was him or somebody on his team, whatever. They got into EA Games Slack channel through a cookie purchased on there, and
It's always
yeah,
something
they
very
got
minor that you just don't think about, isn't it? That catches these people or breaks into systems.
yeah, a lot of times, you know, yeah, when they get caught, it's usually somebody on their team that rats them out, or another hacker that like a lot of times they get like jealous or something, and then they knew this person from way back when before they got big, and then they like kind of turn on them. I've seen a lot of times it's like a human element that catches these people more so than tech, but yeah, when it is technical stuff, it's like the federal government using like top tier like crazy products that you know aren't on the market yet. But you know, I would say yeah, if you're a parent, you're trying to keep tabs on your kids, but you don't want them to know you're keeping tabs on them, I would get that Flexi Spy software for sure. That phone malware. That's the same software El Chapo used to spy on all his mistresses or whatever, and the U.S. government then used Pegasus on him to catch him, and the fact that he had spied on all his mistresses and all his chicks or whatever, uh they were able to catch him faster because he had his whole like phone network mapped out, you know. But yeah, definitely I wouldn't be surprised in the future if we had virus scanners on for iPhone, and I know they do for Android and stuff, but that it definitely seems to be the way things are heading, is phone malware for sure.
But yeah, the cybersecurity field is one of the biggest things
Yeah,
what there's been like money poured into because these big companies are being hacked by the average Joe, people who they know stuff but they don't know a lot of stuff, if that makes sense. So
yeah,
it wouldn't shock
for
me
me, for the
either.
average Joe,
Thank you,
it's
Prince
more
4G.
valuable.
So
Yeah, it's super valuable to know about like malware and stuff like that. So mainly for protection, so you know, like the trick, like you know, rebooting your phone daily or even weekly if you're not that sweated about it, like,
mm,
and like, you know, stuff like not using the same password everywhere, or if you use a password manager, do a hint for the password. Don't you know, put all these long passwords in one things. Like it's better to put hints to like simpler passwords and keep them different, because in case your password manager gets compromised or the password manager company gets hacked, all your stuff is not in one basket, you know. So stuff like that, and like usernames, like using different usernames if you're worried about like somebody stalking you, or um like if you call those white pages sites, where they have all your information, your family associations, you know, from data they had purchased or stuff. You could call a lot of those sites and have it taken down like immediately, because all you have to say, you go, hey, I have like a stalker, and I've already had you just lie or whatever and say like I had problems with them in the past, and I just want to take this off so me or my family don't get hurt, whatever. They're not going to argue with you. They're just going to take it off because they don't want to be responsible if somebody hurts you or something bad happens,
Like
and
you don't want to be
they
responsible for giving out any info on how you figured some stuff out.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
yeah.
But it's on a more
Because I
big
know,
scale. You're a big company, isn't it?
yeah, because you know a lot of people would use it for stupid stuff. You know what was one of the most stupid things I saw in Delphi when I came is like I saw so many people were sending like death threats and
Mm.
you know R word threats to YouTube, mainly YouTube creators, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do this to your wife, to your family. I'm gonna kill you," stuff like that. But I'm like, how come everybody's threatening the YouTube creators, but nobody's threatening BG that much? And it's like they were afraid he was gonna come to their house or something. I'm like, that's pretty lame. They were going for like, you know, what was easy or whatever. But yeah, when I saw that type of stuff, I was like, yeah, I do not, if I give everybody all the goods, they're gonna use it for this type of stuff and not actually helping the case. So I was like, screw you guys. I was like, no. But you know, the Delphi community as a whole, I'm proud of in this regard. I will say, like, you know, I've been in a lot of gaming communities, hacking communities, whatever, where like it might be a younger person thing where people are committing suicide like left and right, and there seems to be a lot more depression going around. And with Delphi community, like a lot of people are like getting into conflicts more. It's like super combative and confrontational sometimes, but like nobody ever nobody ever committed suicide as far as I know or stuff like that. Like they're still upbeat despite like all the blowbacks. It might be a generational thing because like it's a lot more older people, but yeah, I would say the community, for as dumb as they get called or stupid, whatever, they're pretty tough, you know, pretty resilient. Yeah, they have perseverance. So yeah.
Well, yeah, back in May, I kind of did. I never did anything bad to anyone, but I did a bad mindset, and I was being a bit silly with stuff I was doing regarding myself. About half the people who like were like, "Oh wow, dude, keep on doing what you're doing. Wow, dude, you're doing great." This, that, and the other. The second I did this, I was the slightest bit bad. It was get the hell out of here, get off of here. Just ruthless and going into other channels, and then other channels were like, yeah, screw that guy, screw that guy, and then I just kind of like gave it a big break. And then the second I come back, they're like, "Oh, hello, how have you been?" I mean, people are ruthless
Yeah.
online, and especially when you're behind a screen, it's very easy to act like you Mr. Tough Guy in that. I mean, I'm a 21-year-old. I mean, kids my age about 5 years ago, they think they're untouchable. This, that, and the other. I mean, I've had a friend who's been stabbed 3 times in the head, and another got
Yeah.
stabbed 2 millimeters underneath his main artery in his arm by 15-year-olds. Like people think they're
Yeah.
invincible, but they're not.
No, they're not. It is a rare breed, like somebody that's tough online and in person. And
Mm.
a lot of hackers I've talked to, they are very non-confrontational to people they know in person or in real life. And some of them I've had to take care of their business for them because I'm like, dude, that person's harassing you. Like, are you gonna do anything about that? Somebody they know in person, like for instance, like a new dude who's like dating the dude's ex-girlfriend, they're just harassing him. I'm like, are you gonna do anything about that? And then I'll do it for them. But me, even though like you know, if I were to get in a fight with somebody, I'd probably lose half the time, you know, whatever. I'm still very confrontational in person too. Like if I feel like I'm being wronged, I'm usually laid back and try to avoid like any problems. But like I got ripped off at a 7-Eleven gas station like this was about a maybe a couple weeks ago, and I was pissed off. It was only $20, but I was in a rush, so I had to like leave, and I couldn't like sit there and argue with the guy. And there was a bunch of people there, but a bunch of people had the same issue as me. It was like a new worker, and he didn't know what he was doing with the card system or something. So I went back there, and I was on a good one or whatever, and I like chewed out the cashier. I'm like, what was that about, dude? I'm like, do you know who that guy is? Blah blah. And this guy was like the owner of the place, right? So
Hmm.
he ended up giving me like $100 in free gas. It was pretty sick, dude.
Oh, nice. So there you go. I mean,
Yeah, fill up my tank, dude.
there's a bright light to
Yeah,
everything, isn't it?
yeah, for sure. But like, yeah, if I get confrontational in person, it's not because I'm trying to be a tough guy or yeah, I'm not trying to like project power or anything. It's usually, dude, like I'll have like anger, it just like overrides my brain. It's like a toothache or something. And
Mm.
I just can't help myself, dude. I just like lose it, man. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? I'm like, are you serious, dude? I just start ripping into people, man.
Yeah,
And
I don't like when people were like wronging others or wronging me, but there's sometimes say if like I heard this story. I mean, a lot of people don't like him, but he pops up on the shorts. Andrew Tate shorts, you know the top G. He drives Bugatti. That one. Yeah,
yeah,
he said about how he had a girlfriend in Luton, and big queue for like chicken and chips because it's a big thing in the UK. Like the off-brand chicken and chips, fish and chips, this that and the other. Kebab places. And
yeah,
he's with his girlfriend, and the girlfriend's like, "Are you going to stop these three men cutting in line? Like they pulled up in a nice car, went cut right in front of the line, and this other female was, a man and a woman, so like a couple in front of them. Like, oh, you can't cut the line. We're stood there. This, that, and the other. The guy just turns around, and knocks her out clean in one punch, then knocks out the guy in one punch. Like there are certain times in life where you just got to keep your mouth shut, keep your nose out.
yeah,
But I'll give you an example. It was because I'm working 10 to 6 on weekends, like 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. I get into my time.
yeah,
It would have been Monday morning, so I started on a Sunday night, finished on a Monday morning. I got home. This poor girl's just waiting for the bus, yeah, just waiting for the bus on her phone, not talking, not bothering anyone. This guy with like two dogs walks past her, starts like making some mad comments or something, from what I gather, because I'm still walking towards him. The girl completely ignores the guy as she should, and he turns around his head and he's like throwing insults. He's like trying to get all close and personal, and I couldn't just walk past that. I was like, "Oh mate, like leave her alone. Are you a dad or something?" And he's like, "Oh no, I'm not a dad. I'm not a dad. She's not talking to me." And I was literally like, "Come on, man, like back the fuck off, man. Just back off." And he tried having a go at me, but then you got to stand your ground. You can't exactly say, "Oh yeah, sorry, sorry." You got to just stand. I mean, I'm not exactly the strongest guy ever. I don't look like
yeah,
a fearsome guy, fearful guy, fearsome guy, whatever you want to say. Um, but I literally
yeah,
stood my ground. I was like, "What? If you've got anything to say, do it now. Say it now, because I'm not moving until you do." And I like stood there. I don't know this girl. She must have been a few years younger than me. She was in school uniform. I'm 21 years old. I'm not. I don't go to school in a school uniform and that. But there's some
yeah,
times in life where you've got to be like that. So I understand why you have that emotion, but I don't let it
yeah.
overcome me. But it's you've got to defend people and stand for what's right. Otherwise, you don't stand for anything at all. And I really understand that.
Yeah, yeah, that's true, man. Like, yeah, I will say, especially me on Sky Vodka, I'm like on such low vibrations when I'm on that. I'm like on demon time, man. I get crazy,
You
dude.
say
Like,
vodka,
yeah, I don't know if they have
uh,
that over there, but it tastes like gasoline, but I love it, man.
Sky vodka with an E.
SKY, yeah. Yeah, it'll put
SQ.
hairs on your
uh,
Yeah, but I've gone crazy on it. I've called like people um who wronged me in the past or something. When I'm on it, like it's like you got to settle every score when you're on it. And I remember I called this one dude. This was recently when I was on Sky Vodka, and he did me dirty a long time ago as an older guy. He's like probably 50 or 60 something, but it was an old like basically coworker. He owned a company that my company worked with, but he did me dirty a long time ago, and I never got an apology from him. So I was like super drunk, man, like hammered, and I called him, and I'm like, you know who this is? I'm like, you know what you did wrong. I said, you better apologize right now, dude. I said, I'm like, I'm in a whole different category of person right now, man. I'm like, you better freaking apologize. And he's like, I got an apology from him and stuff. But then I woke up the next morning, and every time I'm on Sky Vodka and I wake up and I check my phone, I'm like, oh no, man. I'm like, I can't believe that happened, dude. It's like half the stuff I forgot about. It's crazy, man. But
It's
yeah,
the
I would just
substance
tell
stuff. You
people,
got to lay off a bit sometimes, isn't it? You can't
yeah.
certain
So the
things.
moral story is stay away from Sky Vodka.
Yeah. Oh
Pretty
well, you're not being a Keegan Klein on your phone when you're drunk, are you? You're not waking up to
no.
yeah, yeah.
That's jacked up, man.
Uh,
King Klein. But yeah, somebody asked earlier if I ever got confronted by anybody I hacked or anything. I did have a lot of confrontations with a couple of the pedophiles in the Delphi case, but it was pretty funny. Like one guy, he deleted his whole Instagram because he knew I knew his real name, so he got scared. Another guy, he was trying to lie to me about certain emails he owned, and I knew for a fact it was him. So his wife was like hitting up my account.
yeah, yeah,
He wouldn't answer my he was like not responding to my messages, and I know why is because he knew he was guilty. So I hit him up through his he like just recently got married or something, so I hit up his wife, and then he finally got back to me, and then I told him like what I knew and if he could answer these questions or whatever, and then he was like just flat out like lying to me, hoping I would just like F off or something. So then
right.
his wife hit me up like, oh, what's wrong? What is it about? Blah, 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 because he was like probably mortified or something. So, um,
Well,
yeah, I
yeah,
won't say the rest away. The point is, I got him good, dude. It was pretty funny.
yeah. Big sell at the start to talk about certain people, but I'm not gonna bring up any names.
Yeah, it was
But
pretty funny though. But yeah, I don't like. I could tell like even if a person doesn't give me the answers that I'm hoping for or confirmation, I could tell like by how they're moving if they're guilty or not. Like if they're ducking me for weeks after I've seen they wrote a message and it has to do with like, hey, your name came up here in this transcript. What's I was gonna ask you some questions about this, and I do it like in the most polite way.
hmm,
I'm not like saying like, oh, I'm going to the police or whatever. If they like keep running and running and running and blocking, then I know like that something's up, even more than I already knew like before, so I end up like kind of like mm, I end up getting the answers that I want usually, but yeah, they're annoying, man.
yeah.
They're
I've
freaking
I've
annoying.
been blocked by the newlywed myself. I won't lie to you. I did send a message myself, and I just got
Oh, that's sick.
blocked on the spot.
Damn.
Like I went to go see if he read it. It says seen. It doesn't say read. It says seen. I click profile. It's just a black screen. It used to say like profile does not exist, and now it's just a black
uh,
screen. So
Oh, that was hilarious, dude. Yeah, so a lot of my like, I swear, when I'm facing off against somebody or like I finally caught somebody who did something bad, right? And it's just me and them talking. I start like monologuing like an anime villain or something. It's pretty funny, but yeah, those things
always, aren't
always
they?
have like they always have good replay value, man. It's hilarious.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, I here in the UK, I know they do it in America as well. You call it like predator catchers or whatever. It's called nonce stings in the UK, and you get some mad, mad people. These people go around predator exposure, Stinson
Yeah.
Hunter. I'm trying to think of his name. I can't think. Shane Brannigan. You get all these people,
Yeah.
and they make these fake decoy accounts. They never message a soul. They wait for people to message them, and they just pretend to be like a 13-year-old girl, or like a young boy or something. And all these predators are like, they start talking. They're like, go do this for me, go do that, and they get really sexual and this and that. Then they arrange to meet, and then these guys meet up with sometimes it's women there. It's usually women. Like if they want to talk on the phone to make sure it's like a little girl, they'll have a female who has to listen to these like creeps be like proper sexual with them on the phone. Um,
Yeah.
but
It's
it's
disheartening,
amazing to watch them just crumble. Like you just see their lives crumble in front of their eyes, and it's no one's fault but their own.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing, and it's not beautiful they do it, but the fact that there's people out there willing to take time out of their day and risk their mental health and their own physical safety to go and catch these people online
Yeah.
or
And
in person.
they're everywhere, dude. It's super easy to catch them, to be honest. You don't even need to be a hacker. You just like set up a page and
Mm.
and then they'll be there within like 3 to 5 days. But I do feel bad. Like sometimes I'll be talking about Delphi and I'll say stuff like, yeah, I want to go to a case that doesn't have pedos. So, and I'm not saying that because like I'm not blaming the state of Indiana for having that issue. I guarantee California is way worse in that issue, and that's like a thing everywhere. And I do not put that on Abby and Libby at all. Like I'm not. It's not like has nothing to do with them, in my opinion. To be honest, even with the whole King Klein thing, like that. That's just a sad fact of the world, But
Well, I mean,
yeah,
one of
if
our
anything,
princes in the UK is literally a confirmed paedophile, but he's still a prince. So
oh yeah, that's jacked up, man. Yeah,
not
there's too
good.
many of them, but yeah. Even though I do not plan on being like a predator hunter or whatever, I will say I learned a lot of good techniques. Finding people, like I'll lay one out right here that's pretty good.
Okay.
So for instance, you have a username, right? And let's say they're on Instagram and they're trying to be anonymous, right?
Hmm.
And you don't know who the hell they are. You just have the username. You have like a fake pic on their Instagram, and you just cannot figure out who they are, right? And you try adding them, they won't add you on a fake account, none of that. So what you do, a lot of people don't have the setting disabled in Instagram. You click, where it has like recommended profiles or whatever.
Oh, it shows the
Like
linked accounts, doesn't it?
yeah, it shows it'll mix it in with random ones that only pertain to you, but it'll show like real ones that account follows. And the recommended accounts, this is called. So you kind of hopscotch. So somebody that it'll be in the recommended accounts. You look in there, it's a real person. You see they're following the username you're looking for, right? But you still can't find out who the real person is, right? All you know at this point is a real person's name that might know them in real life. Well, what you do, then you go to their Instagram or their Facebook, and on their friends list, you might hit two or three that don't have a public friends list. Out of one of those two or three, somebody's going to have the person that you're looking for, right?
Yeah, it's
Their
just
real
hard to tell.
identity. Yeah, and that is how I found a couple people sometimes. I call that hopscotching because it's like the recommended like profile picture that it shows you. It's kind of like a pivot, like a something to jump off of to get to the real identity. So yeah, stuff like that is pretty handy. But even in the future, when people like start disabling that, I would recommend disabling that if you have a private profile for sure. um
Yeah, mine's private.
yeah. Yeah, definitely disable.
You've reminded me to do it. I didn't even know it's a setting
Yeah.
you could turn on and off. To be brutally honest, like I've got nothing to hide from. But
Yeah, it's usually like if somebody wishes you ill and they're trying to harass like your family or friends or something. That's like really only the only scenario you would need to like disable that.
and disable
I would say
snap maps. If you guys have any kids who use Snapchat, make sure their snap maps is never on. It's basically stalker central. That you find out where they
yeah.
are, when they are. It's just not good.
Yeah, it's freaking crazy, man. But
I don't get how it's legal to be honest. Snap maps in particular.
yeah. Oh yeah, you saw Roblox like lost like a lot of its stock value recently.
Why is that?
I don't know, but it might be because of post-pandemic. All the kids were on there during the pandemic, and it kind of lost steam after. But you know how like Roblox is known for having a lot of pedos on there and stuff. So
Yeah, I have heard
uh,
of that, but I've never really played it because it's passed by generation. Luckily.
yeah. And then Adam showed me, he's like, yeah, Roblox um, lost all their stock value or like this much stock value, and I'm like, yeah, that's because we put away half their audience. Well, we didn't put them away, but we reported them in, so they got scared. But yeah, it was pretty funny, man. But yeah, I'm gonna wait. Here's the thing, my prediction, dude, and I could very well be wrong. I think the end of this month, I don't think they will unseal it,
Hmm.
or if like a lot of people say they will unseal it and it will be like heavily blocked out. I do believe that it would be like the at best scenario, but so I don't think we're gonna get anything good. yeah, most likely until trial, even trial, dude. You never know, but I feel like we still will get something like juicy on that day. You know, by the end of this month, we'll get like some good tangible information that's not just rumors or hearsay. You know, so that is more what I'm looking forward to. I would definitely tell people, like, if you're looking forward to it being unsealed, like, just be mentally prepared to be disappointed on that day. I would say that, you know. So that's
Well,
about it.
a lot of people say, and yeah, I am gonna have to wrap it up here because I got to be in a city early on tomorrow morning. I got my freelance job
Oh
tomorrow.
yeah,
So I
for
was gonna
real.
wrap it up by midnight latest. It's 10 to midnight for me right now. But
Dang.
what was I gonna say? What was I gonna flip and say? Oh my word, I threw myself off. What did I just say before I said I was gonna be in the city?
Oh, it was about the unsealing of the probable
Oh yeah.
cause.
Do you feel because you're an American, everything should be unsealed? Because a lot of people say, well, this is America, so we deserve it. But like,
Yeah.
if an American judge
Um.
is not doing it, an American man of law is not doing it.
Yeah.
It's not like he's breaking the law, is it? He's American just like everyone else.
You know, I would say, here's the thing. It's like, yeah, personally, I like it to be unsealed, but if the family, if they see it's like not beneficial to them, yeah,
Mm.
that's the thing. This family has faced, like, both families have faced like so much harassment and like judgment. So I just more out of respect for the family than the cops, I would be just like, it's like it's not my place to like tell them. You know, if the family was wanting it to be unsealed, I would be more rabid on getting it unsealed probably, or like more speaking my mind on getting it unsealed. But you know, if or in any which way or form causes them grief, or you know, whatever, then I would just like let it run its course. But yeah, I do understand, like, on a legal constitutional thing, it's like a people are like, oh, what makes you so special type of thing. But I would argue what makes them so special is they're already like freaking got so much grief. Like, yeah, I've already seen a lot of stuff, you know, behind the scenes stuff. But so I would just yeah, I would just let it run its course and not I wouldn't be mad at the family for wanting that, you know. If you are gonna take out that anger, I would take it out more on the not like the judge or whatever, but just speak on it more abstractly, like in a legal sense, than you know, going after the family or anything like that, you know. But
They said the petition. Some of them were telling me, "Oh, that petition's illegal. Have fun in prison." That kind of thing. It's on my community page, and it's like, dude, it's a petition, and they say a judge should not be affected by a petition. Well, I mean,
it was
In the
early.
OJ Simpson trial, they were affected by the race of the defendant. To be brutally honest with you, I mean, you had a lot of racial issues happening in the country at that time, and because
Yeah.
OJ Simpson was a man of color who's a celebrity. He's well known in the household. I mean, he got away with murdering two people in a driveway. And I know some people are going to say, oh, maybe he didn't kill him and that. But come on, man. Like, an innocent man doesn't go on Fox News and say, oh, well, if I did it, this happened. Oh, I don't remember this, but oh, no, I do remember. Like, if it's a hypothetical story, you don't say, oh, I remember. If it's hypothetical, you don't remember a hypothetical. It's a hypothetical thought in your head. So,
Yeah,
and when
yeah.
people plead not guilty, they're not always not guilty. Some people say, "Oh, it's not Richard; it's the wrong person. He pleads not guilty." You think a criminal is going to say, "Oh, you've caught me, hands up"? I mean, some people
Yeah.
do, like the Yorkshire Ripper, but flipping Richard Allen's not going to go, "Oh, you've arrested me?
No.
Yeah, that's all right. Well, I slaughtered two little girls." He's not going to say
He's
that,
gonna
is he?
he's gonna deny it to the very end. If he did it and you know, he got caught, he didn't open up. He's never gonna open up, because you've seen, like, with a lot of the pedos and stuff like that, like, they'll deny it. You could show them like their own damn conversation or whatever, and they'll just deny it, like, up and down. Like, they
Yeah, I
they're
hear.
not
You.
easier, you know. So yeah, he's just gonna deny it till the end. I feel like, you know, especially like being in jail and stuff. He's not gonna like want to be so open about it for sure. He's gonna have a hard time in there for sure. So yeah, it sucks, but it sucks. Not that he's gonna have a hard time. That he's. I don't think we're gonna get a lot of answers that we want. You know.
I don't either. I kind of if it's gonna delay, hinder, or affect the conviction and the trial, it shouldn't be unsealed. And I think the judge or whoever is like empowered to unseal it, I think it would have to be a judge as well. Anyone empowered to unseal that would not
Well, this
unseal it.
they might. I will tell people this. I've seen more of a links to another famous CSAM person than Keegan Klein in terms of Richard Allen, and I'm sure the police already know or have it, but I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about it or whatever. But I'll send you it on Discord, and maybe you could talk about it a later date if I get the go ahead. But that may be one of the reasons that here's the thing. Even if Richard Allen was a CSAM, like looking at CSAM and stuff, I'm not so sure this thing is like CSAM motivated or entangled, you know, other than just him being a sick person, like willing to kill little girls or whatever. So it might they might still be having that same question, you know. Um, and basically in their head they're like, well, if he was into CSAM or doing any of this type of stuff, like who else knew about it, you know, is yeah what they're trying to get at. So yeah, I don't know yet, but yeah, I've seen people like burst a blood vessel trying to make a link to Keegan Klein and Richard Allen or like Tony Klein, but yeah, like I said, they both done bad stuff, shady stuff, but yeah, I'm not gonna rail on them like they're murderers when I don't I don't have I just don't have the threshold hasn't been crossed like in my mind yet, you know. So I've made jokes on both of them, whatever, but you know, but yeah, like they even like Tony, like he's having a pretty hard time right now, like with his foot and stuff like that, and family deaths, and it's not like I feel like a lot of sympathy for him or whatever, but
I
it's
don't
like
personally because he's a
it's
nasty
not,
person deep
yeah.
down.
So it's like if somebody's already had karma by nature and stuff like that, it's like I'm not going to like beat a dead horse, basically. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, yin yang, positive and negative, let the earth equal itself out. I mean, I've got it tightened on my wrist, man.
yeah,
Yin
pretty
yang.
much, man.
I've got it on a big
Yeah,
tapestry to the side of me and on my wrist for the rest of my life. So,
yeah,
but I do believe in like karma and like just being a good person. If you are positive, you attract positivity. If you're negative, you attract negativity. I mean, it's simple as.
oh
So,
yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely, man. I tell you that one. Dang, dude. Yeah, that's pretty good, man. Yeah, we covered a lot of ground I never covered before. That's pretty sick.
there we go. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I didn't cover the crypto growth, but I've done things on crypto growth and like how much money would have been made from a certain amount. Can you share your link? What link do you want to be shared where the wind blows before I go? And JSD, regarding my friend, I'm going to say this to you too, Alex, but I'm not going to show it on my stream out of respect for my friend and out of respect for, well, just not being taken down for showing it.
yeah,
But this is my friend regarding the 15-year-olds. I'm not going to show you the guy's arm because I mean you can imagine what that looks like 2 millimeters
yeah,
below an artery. It's gushing. He had to tie his own t-shirt around his arm from a 15-year-old. So like people aren't invincible. They're definitely not
yeah,
invincible. But my friend, this is what I've sent you two links in the past. Don't say any names or any locations. I sent you two links in the past regarding my male friend and a female friend. You know what I'm on about,
yeah,
yeah? This is the male
yeah,
friend that I've just sent you. I'm about to send it to you, JSD, because you asked about it in the chat. But that's all I'll talk about this subject from now.
yeah,
But
yeah. These mosquitoes, by the way. Yep.
dude, yeah, but this guy, his eyebrow, if the blade went downward, he'd be blind. It went up in his flipping head. So, but I mean, if we covered topics that haven't been covered before, that's good. I mean, I just want to talk about certain things. I wasn't sure if you've been on other channels. I won't lie to you. I don't watch certain channels because I just don't enjoy them. I don't. I think a lot a lot of the stuff that is out there is a repeat of stuff that's been said before, or it's Groundhog Day, and
Yeah.
I don't have the time, energy, or I just don't care enough, really.
Yeah, you see the highlights. Like I think like a lot of people I do interviews with, like even Fig and Sunny and even Julian and stuff like that, like I think they watch it once maybe or clips from it, like they scrub through it if something was important. But I think like a lot of people it happens in that moment and then that's it, even a lot of interviews people watch it one time and a lot of times that's like it. So yeah, but yeah, I definitely did say a lot of stuff on here I didn't say elsewhere, but it's a little different now. Like on Figs,
Yeah,
we
Fig's
had a lot
beautiful, man.
of, yeah, I probably would have said a lot of stuff there or even Sonny's whatever, but before the case was like solved, I didn't want to give away so many things, and I'm still like secretive on a lot of stuff, but I feel like a little more safer to give away stuff. And like let's say I have a cold case down the road, right? And I'm
Mm.
working on it and I'm worried that the person like he knows that I'm looking for him or something. He's gonna look back and see like what I'm using or something. I don't really care because I figure by that time there will be new stuff out that I will have that he won't know about, so I'm not too worried.
Well, there's
Uh,
perfect saying. There's always someone who knows something that you don't. I mean, you know it with your hacker buddies. I know it from you. It's
yeah.
across the whole world, man. There's always someone out there who knows something that you don't.
Oh
So
yeah.
to act
Yeah.
like anyone knows everything and anything
Yeah.
is a sad individual, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it's true, man. But yeah, like the way I view it, like, you know, I'm sure with all the stuff I've been doing and whatever my stuff's bugged or whatever, I just like accept it as a fact. Like, yeah, somebody once told me, they go like, well, I guess the first rule of hacking is trying to keep people from like watching your stuff or something. And I'm like, no, the first rule of hacking is to assume everybody has your stuff, like the government, other hackers, whatever, and just do what you want anyways. Because it's like one of those things, if you're like well intentioned, you're not doing anything malicious, you don't have too much to worry about other than like, yeah, people stealing your money or something. But it's pretty hard to move money around. Like that's the thing, when somebody takes your money or something like that, they might get away with it for like, a couple months or a year or something, but odds are they're doing it to more than one person and they will eventually like get caught, and then have to pay restitution or whatever.
Yeah, there's always a
And even
trail as well in the digital
yeah,
age.
yeah, once you mess with money, the cops, anything that's like life threatening or financial related, they do not mess around with that. Like even if they can't catch the person in that moment, they do keep it logged for a later date to add it with another case or something. But yeah, I would say if anybody ever gets money stolen online or a family member, anything like that, definitely file it with the Internet Crime Complaint Center, IC3. That site does work, and people do get caught from it. So I would definitely. It's not in vain. It's not like they got away with it. They will bite them in the ass a while. Down the road. Crazy.
What's it? Dead men tell no tales. Like, if anyone knows a secret and they're alive, it's a very small chance that secret will stay a secret. There's someone always tells someone or something, or they
Yeah.
say the wrong thing at some point, or they get drunk or whatever. There's a guy in the UK who has lifelong anonymity. I think there's only 7 or 8 people who's ever had it in UK history. And five
Yeah.
times he's gotten drunk or he's done a load of cocaine and he's just told people who he is, and then the taxpayer has to pay almost 500,000 to give him a new identity. And we get 2 years in prison if we say who he is or what he looks like. His new name, anyway. So,
Yeah.
stuff
I
always
would.
leaks.
Yeah, the last big thing I would tell people is if you're on your phone, iOS or Android, try using Firefox Focus. It's a privacy browser. Try like moving all your browsing activity to that browser because a lot of phone malware can't really. A lot can, but a lot can't. versus the other two, and it's like harder for info to get out of that browser. So I would definitely migrate over if you can, like bookmarks and stuff like that, you know. Yeah, so Firefox Focus. I know it's on iOS. I'm not sure about Android, but I think it is. I think it is on there. But yeah, try. In any case, like try not to use the default browsers as much as possible. It's not so bad an issue now because this stuff like just barely hit like the forums and stuff like that. But I can already see where it's going. Like, yeah, phone malware is definitely the next wave, and we're all gonna know somebody who's gonna get caught. Hacked by not like caught by police. I'm talking like their phone got infected, by phone malware, whether it's a grandparent or friend, family member. So yeah, I would say, yeah, just tell them to like reboot their phone and migrate to a different browser, preferably the Firefox Focus one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Tor's a part of Firefox, innit? Onions and that.
Yeah. Tor is all right if you're not doing anything bad. Tor's all right. Like if you want to leave an anonymous comment on a blog spot or stuff like that, but it's not going to protect you from police if you're doing something bad. They definitely have that thing compromised for sure. I think they pay the foundation to leave exploits in it, if I'm being honest. That's a conspiracy I have. But yeah, I2P, if you're doing like something heavy duty, you want to go to I2P for sure.
We've given a lot of good sources and a lot of good information tonight, so I appreciate you big time for that, bro.
Oh yeah, man, it's sick.
Are you doing anything else anywhere else in the future? Like, are you plans to go on any channels or anything like that?
Yeah, I'm going on Sunny's tonight, man. It's gonna be sick. Yeah.
How long is that? Because I'm about to head off myself.
Oh, you'll see the recap. It's gonna be like in 2 hours, I think. 2 to 3 hours. I'm gonna be over there. I'm gonna be over there with Fig. It's gonna be sick.
Yes, then.
Pretty sick. Yeah.
That's gonna be
Yeah, so you'll
such,
be
man.
able to see it. I don't know who else is gonna be on there, but it's gonna be really cool.
Yeah.
But
If Adam's on there, you got to say hello for me because like I say, man, I got to be up early. Otherwise, I'd stay up and watch and keep this going, bro. But I
yeah,
got
I'll
to
be
make
on.
that paper in it or the plastic.
Yeah, if anything cool happens, I'll be on here again. And
Yeah, and
then
you're always welcome. I really do appreciate it.
yeah, it was sick. That was a good one, man.
Yeah. Thank you, man. I do appreciate
Dang.
you a lot.
Appreciate it too, man. You have a good night, dude.
Thank you. I'm going straight to Betty Buys after this, my friend. But message me
Yeah.
whenever you want to, all right?
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
Yeah. Later.
Cheers. I'll have a good one. Legend. I love that man. He's so sick, man. Flipping love that man. What a good guy. And his laugh, man. Like, his laugh caught me off guard. I tell you, I almost laughed myself. Cold truth, you beautiful woman. I'm literally just heading off now. It's midnight here. I got to get up super early. But that was a real good stream. I hope some of you understood it. There's a lot of terms and websites and that. Get turn off this light at last. But yeah, guys, thank you. Thank you. Hit like on the way out. Keep up with Alex. I love you too, Lisa. Thank you. Keep up with Alex. That guy is a smart cookie. He knows what he's talking about, and he's a sweet lad. He's a very sweet lad. He told me some great things, and I just love talking to him. So how long was this? 2 hours. Well, there we go, guys. 2 hours of just non-stop chatter. So be sure to oh, there's all the chat. Be sure to catch that replay, man. If you missed anything, catch the replay. Alex is a good lad. Again, can't say a single bad thing about the guy. Daisy, it's good to see you here. It's good to see everyone here. Thank you all for watching and that. And yeah, I'll see you when I see you. Like I say, busy times at the moment up until January, but all my spare time when I'm not with friends and I'm not out and I'm not doing something important, I'll be here. So thank you, Cold Truth. I'm feeling well. I'm feeling very well. I got meat on my cheeks, not sunken in it, anything like that. I'm a happy chappy. But yeah, guys, I do appreciate you all. I could be here all night, but I shouldn't. So I'm gonna get ready, go to sleep, and I'll see you when I see you. Wow, cheers.